The guy that wants to be governor of this state. Where's he at? He's coming, I'm sure. Here he is. BJ PENN, folks.
All right. Let's go.
Hello, I'm BJ PENN. I'm running for governor. Many of you may know me as BJ PENN, the UFC World Champion. I grew up in Hilo. My mother moved us to Hilo when I was 3 years old. I was born in Kailua. I went to Highly Christian School and I went to Hilo High School. After I was done with school, my father was into judo and martial arts. And some guy moved right across from our house, became our neighbor. And he did a couple of jiu-jitsu lessons. And he asked my father, he said, hey, I see your boys outside, your kids. Hey, do you think they want to come and work out with me at the Waikea Rec Center and do jiu-jitsu? So my dad came and asked me about if I wanted to do jiu-jitsu. And I said, no, Dad, I don't like that. That's all right, that's not for me. So the guy kept asking my father. So one day my father comes up to me and he says, BJ, could you please just go down one time to do the jiu-jitsu and then I'll tell the guy you don't like it? I go, okay, I'll do that for you. Because the guy kept asking my dad. So I went down there. I went down to the rec center and I did jiu-jitsu with the guy. And he choked me out and he tapped me out. And the first thing I thought, this is the coolest thing. This is awesome. I really got into it. I finally found something that I really enjoyed doing. So everybody asked me all the time, how did you get good so fast? What was it? Were you training all day? And I have to tell the truth, man. Look at him and I say, you know what? Before desire, before dedication, it was just the love. It was just the love of what I was doing. And I ended up becoming the first jiu-jitsu world champion that wasn't Brazilian. So thank you. So from after that, I actually knew the two men that started the UFC. I knew them personally because I used to teach them jiu-jitsu lessons. So they pulled some strings and they got me into the UFC. So, I remember for the first time when I was going in to do my first match in the UFC, I remember just walking out and I was so nervous and I was so scared. I was crying in the back before I walked out. And I went out there and I went into the arena and I ended up winning and then I kind of had this feeling in myself like you're not just a street punk. You're not just a guy who just fights around. You're actually in an organization. So I fought in that organization for 20 years. And the main thing, and I always say, people ask me, "Oh, when did you win the belt?" And I always say, "We won the belt on this day." That was the day that we won the belt because it was always a team. It was always a team thing. You had your jiu-jitsu guy, you had your boxing coach, you had your nutritionist coach, you had your strength and conditioning coach. So it was always a team thing that I was around. So from there, I fought for 20 years. The people of Hawaii, I would have never had the success that I had without all the people of Hawaii supporting me. When I would have a bad fight, I'd come home. Everybody would be like, "Come on, BJ, lift your head up. Fight again. You can do it. You can beat that guy. Get back out there and do it again." So they always stood behind me. So fast forward, I get in towards the end of my career, and then I'm coming into retirement, and So I'm retired, raising my kids, my two daughters, and the coronavirus comes and shows up, and they start closing everybody's businesses. They closed my gym, they closed all our gyms, and it really almost seemed like the coronavirus was here to get rid of martial arts because people can't go close to each other anymore. But I wasn't thinking, I was upset. I always knew there was problems with the economy, and there was problems that all of our school systems always had the worst ranking. So from there, I was just kind of watching everything happen, and then I heard about this bill that a government official that I knew personally, we actually supported him for many years. He was making this bill that you couldn't leave the island unless you had the vaccine passport. And let me make it straight, I'm not anti-vax, I'm pro-choice. So I talked to him, and he says, he's giving me all this runarounds, all misinformation and this and that. And I go, hey, what's gonna happen? You're gonna separate families. Some are vaxxed, some aren't. What's gonna happen if this bill gets through, this bill gets passed? And he said, you're just gonna have to listen. Those words, you're just gonna have to listen, is the reason why I'm standing up here right now.
Yeah. There you go.
My father in the hospital, sick, passing away. We can't go inside, and we're just gonna have to listen. My business, I wanna leave it open. Feed my kids. Close your business, you're just gonna have to listen. All of that, I just couldn't take it anymore. And I couldn't take thinking in my own head, as my daughters grow up, them looking at me and saying, Dad, you fought in the octagon for 20 years, but you didn't do nothing when they were taking our freedoms. You didn't do nothing when they were closing our businesses. What was that all about? And I just could not, just the thought of it, I just could not, live with myself if I didn't show up and do this at this time in my life. And my life is very public. It's always been public for 25 years. My life is a very, very public life. And I've had a lot of ups and downs. I've had ups and downs in my life. And that's something that I don't want to shy away from, because that is what ties me to this struggle. That is what ties me to the people. That is I know exactly how it feels to be up when you're doing good, and how when you're doing down, when you're on the bottom. And you're gonna fall. What are you gonna do after that? That is the question. Are you gonna get back up, or are you gonna stay down and lie down? And there's only one answer for that. We all know, all of us are gonna get back up. We're never gonna stay down. So here we are today. We know everything they're doing to us. I don't have every answer to every question that I'm going to be asked, but that's why I got Joe Akana. See how intelligent that man is? That guy got my back. But here, I'm here to listen to the people. That's it. Look at my ears. You see my ears? That's from listening. So I'm listening all these years to everybody, to the pain, to the goodness, But I just want to say, I have no problem doing this and going out there and fighting for and fighting with everybody, because you guys have supported me my whole life, and it gave me the success that I've been able to enjoy. So it's my pleasure to be here, and I hope anyone who can join this movement, please join this movement. And it's just about doing what's right. That's all we can do, is come on and do what's right. So Amen. I want to thank all you guys today. Thanks for coming out. I want to thank Loie. Where is he? Yeah, thank you, bro. Thanks for putting this on. This is amazing. This is amazing. And
what did Mom say?
We got some shirts in the back. My mom said. We got some shirts in the back if anybody wants a BJ PENN for Governor shirt. But thank you guys very much, and I'm very excited to do anything I can. And I'm just gonna try my best, and Yeah, fight for all of our kids. And, yep, register to vote. And let's do this. Thank you very much.
Right on, BJ. I gotta go.
I know.